Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another video. Today this is going to be an hour worth of blasting on the DH just to see how many keys we can get. Can we beat the monk? So we're looking for 100 plus keys in the hour. The build is a pretty standard God DH. We have made a video on this in the past on the PCR. I've actually changed a couple of things just because we're trying to make this as convenient and as lazy as possible. So it is 5 pieces of the Gears of Dreadlands. We're taking the Crimsons rather than the Depth Diggers. Normally speaking, you would have the Depth Diggers on. You'd have a gold wrap here and the Gears of Dreadlands boots, but the modifier for the extra damage on the Crimsons is actually kind of handy. It does provide us with a bit of punch, so we don't lose that much by dropping the Depth Diggers. We also get the resource cost reduction, and that just basically means that we can pretty much perma-spam Shadow Power and Smokescreen, and Prep will come back enough to keep us pretty much topped up on Discipline. Now, if we do just repeatedly mash these buttons over and over and over again, we can drop a little bit, so we just have to back it off a little bit just to build the Discipline up. But obviously the Discipline cost reduction gives us resource cost reduction gives us huge toughness, so we don't need the gold wrap, we've got enough toughness. And other than that, we're basically jacking this full of move speed. So we've got the arm guards for move speed, we've got the Larceny Ring for move speed. This will give us a fear on hit as well as a move speed increase, and then we're going to do the Pandemonium loop so that we can kind of bundle those two things together and keep ourselves moving pretty fast. We've got a Squirts for damage, Taeguk for damage, obviously the Series Satchel, Yang's Recurve for the huge resource cost reduction. Dawn in the cube. I have toyed with trying to take an Echoing Fury, so that is something I could try and maybe squeeze a little bit more out of this, but obviously the Dawn gives us the huge Vengeance cooldown reduction. Hunter's Wrath obviously mandatory for the Hungering Arrow damage increase. Boon of the Hoarder is of course mandatory for the gold, and then in the helm we've got the Fragment of Destruction, so we do get this kind of like Messerschmitt's Reaver type effect. We do have to actually pass through stuff to get this going, and a lot of stuff will just be completely one-banged, but if we do manage to go through something, we're getting a little bit more cooldown. Honestly, this gem in the helm could be anything, but we do get a bit more move speed if we do get it off, so probably the best one. You need poison damage on your Yang's Recurve for this Essence of Anguish. When I filmed this video the first time, I used the wrong bow, so I'm hoping we'll be able to get a few more keys than that. Other than that, I will lash these skills up very quickly for you. It is Strafe, Drifting Shadow, Hungering Arrow, Devouring Arrow, Shadow Power, Shadow Glide, Prep Focus Mind, just so we can spam it and it'll just give us the discipline over time. Vengeance Darkheart for the damage reduction. We obviously also get huge damage increase whilst this is up. Smokescreen Displacement, huge move speed. We can also pop this to kind of avoid explosions. Awareness for a cheat death in case I cock up. Tactical Advantage for move speed whenever we're hitting one of these two. Ambush to increase the chances of one-banging something, so when we hit a high health mob, it's 40% increased damage, and then Archery is just a little bit more damage. Perfectionist works quite well. Hot Pursuit works quite well. Let's try Hot Pursuit actually. We'll see how it is with that, see if we can't up it just a little bit. The stuff isn't orged. I haven't got around to finding good Demon Hunter pieces yet. So the only org we've got on here is on the Crimsons, which we're borrowing off our monk. The rest of the stuff is unorged. Gems are about 99 and 109, so not massively high. Yeah, and I think that is it. Yeah, right. Let's get Snaz going. Yeah, okay, off we go. And how many keys are we starting with, Filthy? That would be handy. 374. We probably should write that down, shouldn't we? 374. Probably a little chiller to play this than Monk, I'd say, for keys. Just with the fact that, there's no in-game mechanic. You don't need to find an elite to get your build cooking. you can just hold down right click, left click every so often, spam your supporting buttons as and when you need. So yeah, possibly a little bit much. This is maybe the I'm going to watch some Netflix, I'm going to watch some Wadijo streaming, I'm going to watch some Rack streaming, something like that. Maybe with Bloodshed, whoever it is you like. Sadly not me these days, but whoever it is you like, you can do this pretty easily, pretty brainless, almost impossible to die, very fast, blows up the screen, good for bounties as well. The Demon Hunter, definitely something that is absolutely slapping around. And as well, because we do move into stuff, it does mean that the average band is really working hard for us. So not like Monk, where you kind of like you're teleporting and you might well miss it. In terms of explosions like that, you can stand in a couple, because we've got obviously the follower cheat death and our cheat death, so we don't need to worry too much. Like the squirts dropping isn't going to be too much bother, and provided we've not got both cheat deaths on cooldown, we are free to stand in explosions. But every so often we do get a shield pylon like that, which, this is now 2 minutes worth of shield, so that will be a complete reset on the follower cooldown, so obviously pretty good. Follower setup I didn't go over. It is, I think we've got sages on for the extra DBs. We don't really need them anymore, but I've just been too lazy to turn it off. Nemesis braces obviously to proc the elites off the pylons, and then we've also got Flavor of Time for the pylon duration. What else? We don't need the token of invulnerability. Oh no, we do normally need the token, but I've actually stacked with a bit of damage reduction from all guilds. And as hopefully you'll see from the footage, she doesn't really die on T16. She's got enough toughness as it is. And again, as always, very lazy with the follower. I do need to have a little look-see at her and improve her build, but we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see whether she dies. The only thing really is, if we stand in an explosion and she happens to get clipped, she might go down. Which means we will lose the NEMs for like the 30-second respawn time, whatever it is. But if she does lose a little bit of health, like she's lost a bit now, for instance, presumably from that explosion, but it comes back fairly fast enough. And if you could be bothered, if I wasn't such a lazy, filthy casual, I would have got her like fully kitted out with 25k intelligence, maybe some better pieces as well, where it has some more damage reduction. I think Wadiju's got a couple of good guides on followers. You can squeeze a good bit of value out of them actually, surprising amounts. There we go, first shard of the day. Nice. I've got a bunch of these to use. I think we're at like 40 embers, maybe over 40 embers. So yeah, I really need to sit down and have a huge upgrade session, work out what's going to be for augmenting and what isn't. But we're grinding keys at the moment. We're going to do hopefully a good bunch of pushes at some point, so the keys will come in handy. Sometimes we're going to get the DB, sometimes we're not. Like we don't need them. I think we're at like 4.5k, so we're not always going to go back and get them, but we will pick up anything that looks like it might have value. So anything like green sets, primals, consumables, we're gonna pick up a bit of stuff. Goodness me, this map this has got to be everyone's favorite T16 tile set. The cemetery has to be. Right, let's grab all this goodies. Pair of pants. I think I'm still rolling satchels on the Demon Hunter. I could really do with a nice quiver. Don't have one, which is a bit of a bummer. I don't have good ZDH gear actually. I haven't picked up too much from doing the ZDH. I don't know, maybe I just haven't played it quite enough. That looks fairly interesting, so we will put that in the inbox. We might want those NEMs for something, so I guess we'll put them in. And then the rest of this stuff is for salvaging. But yeah, I just haven't played much DH this season. Whoops, that was an Ancient God. Ancient God's chest, that was a bit of a whoopsie. I thought I checked that. So that is my bad. Never mind, there will be another, I'm sure of it. Yeah, I need a nicer quiver, which is hard to come by really. The Series Satchel, getting an Ancient with nice modifier and nice rolls is hard to do. It's, you know, it's like lots of things. It's 1 in 10 chance for it to drop as Ancient, even if it does drop. You've then got like what, 1 in 8, 1 in 10 chance. It's got a good modifier on it. So you're already at like 100 to 1, and then you chuck on the fact that you want, you know, realistically crit chance, and you want probably hungering area damage. It's a bit of a pig to get, so maybe that's something that we're gonna have to do with bounties. I think the next video is going to be a big bounty blast on the monk, because we've got a really cool bounty build to show off again from last season with the teleportation, the raiment set, which is nice. So that might be tomorrow, depends if I can squeeze in the time to get a video done. I hope so. Grab up all this gold. This might be 1 floor clear, which would be nice. And we might have just run out of stuff. Yeah, it looks like we have. Never mind. It was close. But rewarded with another shard. And power. We should still have a little bit of this power when we jump back into the to the next rift. We might as well open the chest. That was either a Cluck Eye or a Yang's. Oh, it's Yang's. Again, if we could find an Ancient one with poison damage on, that would be great. But yeah, non-Ancient weapon, obviously, it's a hard thing to get it to drop with poison on, because there's just so many damage types like that one. You know, lightning, great, not very helpful. So generally speaking, you're going to be re-rolling. The Ancient one that I got, I re-rolled for ZDH because I just figured, well, I'll find another one soon. But as it happens, it's been slim pickings. But that's okay. We will get there. It's still very early in the season. We've got a long way to go to improve the character, improve the bits and bobs. I mean, obviously for the T16, for bounties, we don't need anything better. This suit as it is, pretty much unorged with the 1200 Paragon, will pretty much smash through bounties, smash through T16. Obviously, it's just for pushing and for speed rifts. If we do decide to do some, well, I might be tempted to try out Marauders once we've got some orgs going. Might give that a go for solo speeds. Again, Woodijio's done a video which looks pretty interesting. God DH is always fun. That's always quite fast. But the monk really is just the king of speed this season. Again, using the bounty build as a bit of a template. I'm hoping we can make like a 60-second GR90 build. Not quite there with the power as of yet, but yeah, busting out GR80s in like a minute flat most of the time, 1 minute 10, that kind of thing. So yeah, plenty to do. I haven't really touched the strength account in the last week or so. That is definitely the easiest to gain Paragon and gear, because Z-Barb, as I've said a couple of times, just seems to be in demand. People want it. And I have finally sat down and made a Z-Neck this morning. I just need to find a group, and hopefully it's got enough toughness to survive at like GR 125, because that's what everyone's going to be doing. But again, I could org it. I could do try and get some better gear and stick some augments on, and that will give it a bit more kind of like we had. I don't know, another few hundred Paragon points on top. Yeah, this tile set. Never a good one. again, we'll plug the mobile channel, which I've started off a new account on Raid Shadow Legends for some mobile gaming. Raid on a budget, so $35 a month spent. As I say, appreciate that's not going to be for everybody, but if you are interested, do hop along. Again, you know, we could have not stood in that explosion, but we've got the 2 layers of cheat death, so we can afford it now and then. Don't need to be sweating it too much. Obviously, if you're on hardcore, maybe not quite as blasé. Ingeome, don't think we need one. Don't think we need any of this stuff. Ancient Natalia's boots, maybe. We'll put them in the inbox. Do we want a Visage of Goons? Don't think we do. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any Legacy Dreams Demon Hunter. We might do. I just don't know if we're going to get the time. But we'll see. I mean, realistically, I think I've got, say, I don't know, 4 or 5 pieces that I'd like to get developed and augmented up on the Inner Monk. And then that's done. Gears of Dreadlands probably needs about 10. So if we do another 10, another, I don't know, yeah, maybe 8 orgs for Marauder. What's that? We need, say, 5, 10, 20. So we should get enough to do a few more sets. Again, it depends how long we play for. I know I'm going to get very tempted by Diablo 2 Resurrected PTR and their new ladder reset when that comes out, because I think that's going to be pretty fun to play. It's just a question, as I was saying in the other video, of is there going to be enough power and reason to play it, really, I guess. But it might be worthwhile playing through a season just to see what a ladder reset is like, how long it takes to get to the end. So that might be solo. You know, maybe we can make some videos on it. Maybe we'll just try and jump on a group and kind of get piggybacked and carried all the way along. But I do like the idea of the Necromancer being buffed, the Skeletal Mage, which obviously we've played a lot of Skeletal Mage on this game, that's for sure. But apparently they suck on Diablo 2, so they're getting the bit of a buff. Nice buff up. That seemed like a lot of keys. I didn't quite catch it, but that seemed like a lot. And obviously mandatory is follower with canes for the extra keys. You'd be crazy not to run canes on your follower. Absolutely batty. And it is very nice. Like, I know it's been in the game for a little while now, the follower emanation stuff, but it is still so good. Just thinking about when we have to used to do the hot swaps, and you'd be desperately hoping that you could get your stuff off in time. And you know, obviously sometimes you'd forget. Ugh, it was just a pain. So we are very happy with the canes and the follower emanation stuff. We just picked up an ancient Siri satchel. The modifier on it looked rubbish. It was 500%, which is nowhere near good enough. We want something like 585 or above on an ancient one, because otherwise you're better off using the non-ancient version. There's, you know, the orgs are so easy to come by this season, in particular as well. It's much better to have a nice non-ancient quiver than it is having a crappy one with an augment on it. Even if it's 125 augment, it's just not worth it. You know, your augments kind of give you a little bit of diminishing returns. Like each one you add kind of adds a little bit less percentage-wise. Conversely, they also kind of like build up, you know, so it is important to do. Never advocate not doing it, but I wouldn't be sweat. You'll do more damage with like a non-ancient 590% one than you would do with an ancient one with you know, 500% on a 625 dexterity augment on it. Is I think what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I mean, it's because it's got no damage roll, basically. If it had a damage roll, that obviously would change. So, like, Necro Offhands, Mojos, anything that's got damage on it, getting Ancient obviously gives you that natural damage boost anyway. So you can be a little bit more forgiving on whether a modifier is an upgrade or not. And hopefully at some point, we'll get a primal in one of these videos, which would just be, oh, it would just be nice. I would get excited. Some homing pads, we might keep them for a follower. The series satchel, yeah, it's not very good, unfortunately. I mean, we get good value rolling satchels because, you know, we've got 3 builds we're interested in playing on the Demon Hunter. So Shadow, I think, before the season started, is something I did want to augment up. So we need a nice Holy Point shot. Again, that's a hard one to come by, hard one to get correct with the rolls that you want. We've got the series satchel, which we can have. A Bombardier's rucksack, obviously for Marauder. And, you know, even if we get an Ancient Bombardier's rucksack with not the stats we want, it might be usable by our ZDH. So we could get quite a bit of value from rolling shards on quivers. We just kind of need to avoid the rubbish ones that don't really do anything. If similar to Monk yesterday, if we can kind of keep ourselves cheat death free, I think we'll be doing quite well. Yeah, the amount of gold we got yesterday on that video was just disgusting. Very funny. It'll take me a long time to spend that. Again, for this one, we haven't really focused on gold finds, you know, because we just don't really have the pieces at the moment. I probably should check just to see what it is. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, we will be making gold because just the boon of the Hoarder, we do get some. I'm sure we've got gold finds somewhere on some of these pieces, like the squirts defaults with it. We obviously get some out of the Soul Shard and the Helm, because it gives us the property of all of the Helm's socketed gems. We get the resource cost reduction, the cooldown, and gold find obviously is no exception. And if we keep playing the season, we get up to like 1500 Paragon and we get, you know, some DH pieces orged up and stuff. This obviously would just be flattening that little bit quicker. But I do feel like we're getting a bit on top of the season. Like there's getting fewer and fewer pieces to upgrade. I think getting that monk boxed off with the ridiculous gold yesterday was quite good. And it's kind of nice having this and the monk at the same time, because it means that if you get a bit bored zipping around, teleporting, you can come and play this if you want to be a little bit more chill. Right, so we're about 20 minutes with 401 keys. So that is 27 or something like that. So, yeah, not bad. So yeah, I guess that's actually putting us a little bit under the rate that we were hoping for. But the thing with key farming is RNG does play a role. You know, if you get 7 keys as opposed to 3 or 4, it's pretty much like doing 2 runs at once, isn't it? So again, we could be faster with the keys. You know, you could just simply whiz around, not pick any of this stuff up, unless it happens to be something that, you know, you see it's easily in reach and you know it's a piece you're looking for. Like, let's say you really want a compass rose. Green ring drops, yeah, you'll go out your way to pick it up. But the rest of it, you might just want to leave. You know, the DBs you might not be bothered by. Just depends. I guess this current trajectory probably puts us on 90, which is a little low actually. I think we did more when we had the build wrong in the last video, which it did upload, but we're not going to release. It's been a good fun season so far. Definitely been enjoying it. If we can get some more, if we can get some more consumables today as well, that'll be nice and handy. With each one being a third of an augment, we want to get as many of those as we can. Right, so let's have a little look. Got a quiver, it's not the one we want. Probably worth taking a little stab at some hand crossbows if and when we get the chance. Again, decent value to be had upgrading those. You know, we could hit a Primal Dawn, we could hit a Primal or very nice Fortress Ballista. Yeah. There's even the hand crossbow that does the, I can't remember what it is. It's something wings. The one that does when you press either smoke screen or shadow power, it activates the other one. Which just kind of helps on your discipline requirements. But we've been pretty good on the discipline so far. I don't really think we've needed much. We will pack it up because that could be the compass rose we're looking for. Again, another item that is an absolute pig to roll well. Just with the, I mean, that's just by virtue of the fact there's so many stats on it. But we are yet to find a GG piece for the Demon Hunter. I don't think, aside from the craftable stuff that we've done, we've got some decent crimsons as we showed at the start of the video. But other than that, no, nothing really of any value on the Gears of Dreadlands. It's very different to the Monk, which has got the incredible braces and gloves. Even the All-Guild set that I've made on that is like practically perfect. So we've had good luck on the Monk, the RNG, but not so much on the DH. We have done a bit of DHing. You know, whenever there's been a group going in the chat for ZDH, we are trying to jump in. If anybody in the clan wants to play, again, we're trying to jump in. That's better. 7 keys and a consumable, much better. So, but I mean, it's the way it goes sometimes in season. Sometimes you'll play one class and you'll fly along with it, and other times it just won't be going quite so well. Starting to see a few +1 Crusaders for 150, so it looks like the Crusader is getting up there. I'm guessing is the boss killer. Valor's Bequest is the other hand crossbow. We can also hit very nice, you know, we can get pretty good ancient one. We're not going to keep any puzzle rings that aren't ancient. Just whoops, don't see the point. Let's get rid of that. So a few more +7 keys would be great. Ugh. I mean, we could just quit. I do sometimes just quit this map, but we'll whiz through it. Quitting always feels super hardcore. But yeah, the normal puzzle rings are probably worth hanging on to if you're low on gems. It's a great method for getting some. Again, I do need to sit down and make a gem video, so maybe that'll be tomorrow. Got some tips on how to get gems. And puzzle rings, normal puzzle rings will get you a shit ton of gems in like very, very short amount of time. So, you know, saving them is a good idea. But I've already used a bunch, so I don't really need that many. We can be snobbish and just go for the ancient ones at the moment, I think. But bear in mind, again, if you just want gems as quickly as possible, and doing a regular puzzle ring is faster, simply for the fact that you don't have a ton of crap to pick up. Well, that's a good thing or a bad thing. That's kind of up to you, but if you just want to do it as fast as you can, so that is probably the way to go about it. Move speed is kind of bonkers on this. Which always makes it fun to play. For that time, not as good. We've got maybe one more and then about halfway through, maybe. Not sure if we want any of this stuff, but we've got a couple of set pieces, so we may as well have a little look-see. Marauders and Shadow, both non-ancient. So both for the bin. And Quiver. Sin Seekers. I normally find a Sin Seekers primal in the season, and then never use it. We could do one for the primal only challenge as well. If we're gonna run as DH, we would need a DH Quiver. Monk is going to be probably the best for that at the moment, because we do have the primal bindings to the lesser gods. So that is obviously a pretty good modifier, but whether we find anything else to go with it, we shall see. Right, we'll grab the Pool of Reflection. We might be capped out on those, but maybe not, because we did do a bit of support play a day or so ago, so maybe we burnt them all during that session. Heard a very interesting but tragic and sad news story the other day, which was that apparently somebody got shot over an argument about Diablo 2 loot, which is just crazy. So apparently the two people arguing over, I think someone had entered a game. There was two friends playing. They didn't have a password set, so somebody came in, nicked a piece of loot. So who knows what it was? Probably something really important, like a burr rune or something like that. And yeah, they started having an argument. Is that a pool? No. Started having an argument, and then one of them went and shot the other one, and sadly, victim lost his life, which is nuts. You're definitely not doing video games right if it's causing things like that. Oof, absolutely not. But other than that, I guess in kind of video game newslands for Diablo, I guess it's probably fairly slow at the moment, because we've had the default update blog, which was good, but we're probably not going to get much until, I guess, mid-January for anything. So, we might get some more information on Immortal then, like possibly a release date. We might get the PTR and potentially maybe a ladder date for D2, but we're not going to be seeing those things for a little while. There's probably not going to be too much to get our teeth into, and I've got a sneak feeling this is going to be a long season again, because I just think there's going to be an awful lot of attention on Diablo 2, and I think some of the game developers share and bounce across both those games. So I guess that would mean if they're working on balance changes in D2R and ladder resets and that kind of thing, that is just less time that can go into D3, which for me, you know, isn't too much of a pain. I'm quite happy playing D2. This is my game. This is the one I prefer, but Diablo 2 is a lot of fun. You know, the blast from the past. So I think, like, in general, for overall content in Sanctuary, you know, we're in a good spot. If you only play D3, probably not so much, because the workflow just seems to have kind of definitely tapered down to like 3 seasons a year, maybe even less. You know, which when I first started doing this, it was 4 seasons a year. You know, they were much better at getting that kind of 3-month cadence and timetable out. Whereas now it just seems like it's going to be 4 months in between them. Which for a game this old, I guess isn't too bad. You know, it does give people a chance to go and play some other stuff, and we do get a lot of people coming to the channel who've, you know, they've played a couple of seasons ago and they've had some time off, and then they come back. It's either they want to kind of check out where stuff is up to, what's easy to play, you know, that type of thing. But then on the other hand, you know, obviously if this is the only game that you play, yeah, you know, 4 months is way too long in between seasons. But it does kind of make sense, I guess, for Blizzard to be flipping D2 and D3. I'm not sure the crossover is huge in the player base. 6 keys that time, so that's nice. I don't think there is a huge crossover. A lot less, I think, than maybe I'd have guessed. You know, maybe 10%, 15%, 20%, something like that. But still, I would anticipate them being kept relatively separate, because I just think it's just a bit daft, isn't it? Ancient Stone Gauntlets. The rolls aren't great, because we're keeping all res or resource cost reduction. We'll have a think on those. They're probably for the bin. They're definitely for the bin if we've got anything comparable. We'll go with Quivers. We will come up short again. Let's see. We're going this way. Nope. Back down. We were going to check the gold find, weren't we? So I need to try and remember to do that when we get back to town. The funny thing is, with making that ridiculous gold find monk yesterday, is all I can think of as I'm doing this is I'm missing out on so much gold. There's gold we're leaving on the table here. We could be getting more. Which is, again, is not... There's a bit of a nuts way of looking at it. There we go. Alright, I think we probably could be a little quicker if we took the sages off the follower as well. Again, I'm not going to stop to do it now, but as we don't need the DBs anymore, I think the Gloves of Worship would be the much better shout, because we could get like a move speed shrine, and then that obviously would last for a lot longer, which would be handy. I mean, this is the kind of map that we want. One where the game will almost just about struggle to render it, because we're whizzing around so fast. But you know, something like this is definite, like, one floor clear, isn't it? I think we've got a bunch of keys that time as well. It looked like a decent amount. How many are we on? 430, so that's like 56. So yeah, maybe just on for 100 again. But as always, maintaining these videos, it is easier to do this without having to commentate. You know, if you're just trying to blast it yourself, it is a little bit easier. Other nice Marauder's shoes there. Again, I'm not sure. We might have better ones, or we might already have decent ones. But we don't want to lose downtime looking through that stuff. We'll do that in the morning with a cup of tea. Have a little look-see through what we got. And it's going to be good fun burning all these keys as well. Wonder how many keys you could burn in an hour. Not by fishing rifts, because obviously that would be very fast, but actually trying to get through them. I'm just trying to think. I wonder if you could burn like 40, 45 keys, like GR80, GR90 maybe. See what you ended up with at the end of it. Yeah, that'd be good for the orgs. Albeit probably not needed this season. But again, I am getting on top of the gems, as in I think pretty much all of the gems that I want are leveled. So we are kind of like, whenever we do rifts now, we are kind of working on augments as well. So, you know, things like maybe we'll augment up you know, some things like 110s or 120s. I guess doing them all at 125 probably makes sense. You know, we're getting enough groups of that size online, so I can do them solo myself. You know, pretty high, and we just finish them off in group. We might be able to get another. You know, that might be an entire full suit that you can do on leveled up gems. You know, maybe more, maybe a few suits. So it may well be possible that we get all, you know, every suit done for DH and every suit done. Right, where is this dude? There he is. Super annoying. Never mind. He made up for it. He dropped us a soul shard. So there's always the chance we'll get the flawless gem out of it. And that would be kind of nice on a video. Nice to hit that. But yeah, we'll try and get as far up on as many leaderboards as we can by the end of the season. Ooh, that is a nice chest plate for UE because it's got the max discipline on the secondary. It's not the max one, which will be 12, I think, but that's probably close enough. For a scrub like me, that'll do, I think. Maybe the follower does have the gloves of worship on, actually. Thinking about it, looking at a little buff at the bottom of the screen. This is another nice map. We like this one. Particularly when it's juicy and dense like this. Losing the ability to talk. This is no good. But yeah, if anybody has any ideas for videos, I think, as we're saying in the Monk Gold Fund one, I've given up drinking for the year. Maybe for longer. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I definitely want to make more content for YouTube. There's going to be more videos kind of like this, where it's just me playing for an hour and chatting and seeing what we can do. You know, testing out the builds with, you know, a bit of explanation, a bit of tips as we go. Just in case some people find this useful, you know, maybe returning players or newer players, maybe go through this. There might be a tip that they pick up, you know, it a little bit in lieu of streaming, because obviously I just can't really commit to getting that done at the moment. Whereas this is nice and convenient. It only takes an hour, you know, hour and a half, something like that. We can get a video done, and the only thing I'm not doing is getting chat messages and responding, but other than that, it's a similar kind of thing. I'm hoping people enjoy it and get something out of it. But if there are any other ideas anyone's got, I do read every message I get on YouTube. I rarely respond these days, just for, again, time commitments. But we do see them all. So, you know, the LOD's gem only challenge is something that I think we could maybe have a look at. Primal only challenge. 4 keys again. Rubbish. But yeah, any video ideas, do stick them in the comments and we'll see what we can do. But ultimately, it's going to be very much kind of user driven, as in, like, if we make a bunch of these style videos and you don't like them and no one watches them, I guess we probably won't make too many more. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I'm hoping it's going to be watched by enough people to keep going. And again, maybe it's something we can carry on. So I don't know. Maybe they're too long. Maybe we can cut them down to like 15 minutes or 20 minutes. That is okay. I think that's probably the best quiver we've got for Marauders at the moment. We'd have to check the inbox, check the quiver stash just to see what's in there, but that looked okay. And that's kind of how, you know, the building of the characters goes, isn't it? You pick something up, if it's better, you use it for a bit, you keep your eye out for something better, and you just kind of slowly grind your way to a finished character. And sometimes you get stuck on items and it's really annoying. And other times they just pop out straight away. But the ABC, always be closing, always be opening and closing rifts, I think is a pretty good tip. You know, if you're doing everything as fast as possible, you know, just by the sheer number of items that you find, the number of monsters that you kill, that you splat with your bow, blow up with your poison explosion, the more times you can get that kind of loot roll done, the more chances you're giving yourself of getting things like soul shards to drop, nice weapons to drop, you know, good gear pieces. You know, 99% of the stuff we pick up goes in the bin, which is very different to D2, because I'd say obviously the vast majority of stuff in that goes in the bin, because that's just how it is with ARPGs. But I think the usefulness of your average item in D2 is much higher than your average item here, because lots of the time stuff here is just instantly for the bin. You know, even if it's legendary, it's you know, the gear in this game is a little lackluster, isn't it? You know, you're finding legendaries are just like they are far too common in this game. You know, it's like the whole word legendary, the thing of legends. So the D4 with the uniques, I think, is kind of cool, because that means that we get legendary items that I think we can extract the powers off. It looks like. Let's pop that down there to remind me to look at it, which is good. But then there are uniques that will, I presume, you can't strip the power off, which seems like quite a good, you know, a good system. As in, like, you do have those items. How many times are we gonna get this tile set? I feel like all we've done is run the tunnels and a couple of graveyards this go round. But yeah, I do like the concept of there being an item that you can't do anything with. It, you know, it is unique. It can only have that power on it. But there are legendary ones that, you know, maybe you can jig around and stuff. But most of the stuff that we find now is pretty much just for the bin, which is what makes the starter seasons just, you know, so much fun, and the most fun that we have. It's because we're always looking for items, we're always looking for things to build. That potential next big upgrade is there, you know, and that feeling is created a little bit and maintained, I think, a bit longer in Diablo 2 Resurrected, because you can always find things that would help out a low level character that you're gonna, you know, play through on another playthrough, and the non-smart loot. If you play all the classes for Diablo 2, that's cracking. Is, you know, you can be playing a druid and you can find something with necromancer summoner skills on them. Just be, well, that's pretty good. I'm gonna use that. Ooh, another consumable. Nice. Plus, if let's say you just play the Necromancer on Diablo 2 Resurrected, well, the non-smart loot probably gets on your nerves. Unless you're into wheeling and dealing and trading. But again, the kind of lower level stuff, I'm guessing there's not much of a market for that. Ooh, is that a resplendent chest? We'll pop it. Down. Is that the way? Oh, we've nearly set off in the wrong direction. That would have been horrendous. Just spied it out the corner of my eye. It's 15 minutes left, not too long. So that's like 3/4 of the way through. Doesn't look like we're going to get a primal again today. Sad times. We were going to look at gold find, weren't we? I've forgotten. Where is it? 22k. So, well, 2/5 of what the monk has got. Right, all that is for the bin. Can't salvage these things quickly, and then we can have a little look. Oh, flawless gem. Woo, pog. How many keys? 445. So we need another 30 to get there. So looks like we'll be just under 100, I think, for this session. Again, I think that's probably got something to do with the RNG of the maps, I think. Have I taken something off? Doesn't feel like we're doing any damage. What's going on? Is it shielding? What have I done wrong here? Why is this guy not dead? Why is the momentum stacks not building? What? No momentum stacks. Oh god. Right, let's exit. Is that a bug? Oh no, there they are. What am I going on about? Why are these dudes? Have I swapped satchel? What's going on? Why is nothing dying? Oh, I've entered 100. That's why. Oops. So what the hell's going on? We can have another 2 minutes for that, can't we, guys? We can let filthies off for accidentally opening 100. What a potato. We all make mistakes, guys. You know, what can we say? Shit happens. Life ain't fair, it never was. I was thinking, what the hell's going on? Why are we hitting like a noodle? I just assumed that maybe we'd accidentally clicked and like unequip something by accident. Just like, what's going on? Well, I hope that all gave you all, anybody who's stuck it out for 55 minutes of the video so far, a good laugh. Certainly hope so. A mega lol. It's been a little while since I've done that, to be fair, but that's certainly not the first time, and it's certainly not going to be the last either. Right, okay, I was hoping that might have explored up into that corner a little bit, but nope. So we'll go to like 102. I think we wasted a good 90 seconds there, didn't we? Whilst I had a complete brain fart moment. Never mind, at least we're using the right build today. That's all I can say. 5 keys. I bet Wadija does that all the time. I bet he does. Accidentally enters 100 with his T16 build on. I don't really think we want to look at any of this stuff, so I don't really know why we're IDing it. We're going to bounce to Act 1 because I am a creature of habit, and that is the only act I like starting in. Let's carry on with the quivers. I wonder if we could have completed that 100 in the T16 stuff. Probably not. I think we already procced our cheat death, haven't we? I was accusing the game of glitching out, so there's no momentum stacks. I am an embarrassment to the content creator community of Diablo 3. I must hang my head in shame. Never mind. It's the kind of thing that when we were doing the streaming, again, I just know people would love that. Would have found it really funny. And you got to be able to laugh at yourself, because otherwise it's just no fun, you know. We're gonna get things wrong. Get things wrong every day in this game. But I'm a firm believer in getting your reps in, you know. Daily repetition leads to getting better. I'm probably a much better player than I was when I first started. And that's not hard because I was terrible at this game when I first started. But I loved it, you know. Passionate. Enjoyed it. Which is definitely the main thing, I think. I definitely need to improve my pushing. And I say this every season. But I'm hoping that if we get a few suits orged up across the various different accounts, then we can have a bit of fun. And if we've got like 400 keys, 450 at the moment, so we need another 20 in the last 10 minutes. It's not going to happen. I was wondering whether we'd left the area damage paragon out. But no, it seems to be in. Well, this is going to be the irony of all ironies that I've actually put the correct build on and got less keys than when I farmed it with the incorrect build. Which is just stupid. I'm going to blame RNG. Let's blame the Kane set. If in doubt, blame RNGesus. Yeah, 10 minutes, something like that. I think we almost need like triple 7 keys, I think. Again, we are wasting time picking stuff up, but I just, I don't know. I just can't abide not picking it up. I'm a collector. You know, if I came back reincarnated, it would be as a treasure goblin. Running around, picking stuff up, trying to put it in my bag, going, yes, loot, let's have some loot. Too many maps like this, I think. Poor density, too wide. Ugh, look at it. What a wretch. Absolute horror of a map. Let's get back and grab those braces whilst he spawns. Not even a legendary. 4 keys. Game. What are you doing? What are you doing? We'll take another stab at the upgrading of the one-handed crossbow. I tend to do this, like, you know, if I see something in my inventory that I know I'm kind of keen to getting one of them, like, upgraded, I just do them as I get them, just because it's a waste of mats to craft them, I think. You know, and we're not all about the efficiency, but we will take some little wins here and there. Here, a child approaching. Hello, sweetheart. What do you want?
He just had ages on.
Mm-hmm. Well, here we go, guys. You get to listen to my kids arguing as well. Okay, I'll be down in a few minutes, sweetheart.
Are you sure you're recording?
I'm 100% sure I'm recording, yeah. You want to say hello to YouTube?
No.
Yeah, go on then, off you go. I'll be down in like 10 minutes. Who'd be a parent? Hey, guys. We've just set up a playroom for the kids, which they're enjoying. Unfortunately, it is causing a few arguments over the Xbox. So I guess I get to go and do some daddy daycare after that. I was kind of hoping we'd be good to jump on for an hour, but it looks like 50 minutes, 55 minutes. I guess it has been an hour, hasn't it? I've been recording for an hour. So yeah, that's about the time limit the kids can muster without deciding to have an argument. But I mean, it is. Oh god, guys, I can hear them bashing each other over the phone. This is not good. Right, I think we're gonna have to call this there, guys. My kids obviously need some parental attention, and as important as it is to do these keys in an hour, we've got another couple of runs left, so we probably would have got to 100. I'm gonna go enforce some discipline on my children, and that way maybe they'll grow up to be demon hunters. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Take it easy. Peace.